Thank you very much, Denisons. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here, Eri from Bina Swadaya. Together with me, there are some. At the first, I would like, we have here Pak Bambang Iswawan. Mr. Bambang, he is the founder of the Bina Swadaya Foundations. And together with me as well, Rosi from the Trubus magazine, who will be present the case study about the Trubus magazine. And actually, Chandra is as well part of the Bina Swadaya. And I see as well in this participants list, Mrs. Emil. I don't know whether she is here. So who else might be Anto? I don't see. But
Yeah,
he is
Eri, I'm coming.
Emil. Emil is here. So she is part as well of the Bina Swadaya Foundations. But in these presentations, I will present at the first and then we'll continue with, will be continued by Rosi. I will share my slides presentations. Okay. And then how is to go to the next? How is to go to the next? Cannot move. Chandra.
Dr. Eri, you can press the lower left of your screen. There is an arrow to the right.
Lower left.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yes,
this.
that's one.
Okay, okay, understand. I'm sorry, the first time. Talking about the core that we want to share the case in these presentations is actually about the Trubus magazine. This is an agriculture magazine. But talking about this magazine, we cannot exclude it from the history of the Bina Swadaya as the foundations who initiated this activity. So at the first, therefore, I would like to share the short history of Bina Swadaya. Bina Swadaya means self-reliance. It started from 1954. Myself has not yet been born in these years. And in 1954, it was not yet the Bina Swadaya. It is like it's such a mass organizations, associations of youth Pancasila to promote the social economy of Pancasila. Pancasila is an ideology of Indonesia. The fifth point says about the social justice for all Indonesia, which is relevant with the goal and values of solidarity economy. The movement was answering the need of the nations, which at that time was still dominated with the political issues and less strategy and actions to eradicate the poverty. Along with the economic development, then these associations of Youth Pancasila transformed into the institutional support of social development. So the activities in that era are consist of the economic empowerment, and we are collaborated with the government and a lot of donor. So we are promoting the self-help groups, and at that time we have successfully established around 1 million self-help organizations, which include 25 million of households. And at that time, the name of the Bina Swadaya starting in that era. So realizing that Indonesia economy is growing, in 1999, the Bina Swadaya transformed into the social enterprise, because we don't want to be depending from the donors. We realize that the more economic growth, then the less support from the donor to the activity. So we started with the social enterprises, and the Trubus magazine was one of the business units started in the beginning. At the beginning, the Trubus magazine provide the agriculture informations to the reader. It was started with the project that the Trubus magazine distribute the informations of agriculture to a lot of the farmers nationwide in Indonesia. So in the next 24th May, Bina Swadaya will be 53 years old. So we are on the way to the next 50 years. And now Bina Swadaya is transforming again, but not to the new organizations, but transforming to internalize the SSE, Social Solidarity Economy, into the business process. So now to the next slides. So this is, if you want to know who are the men behind all these transformations, this is Pak Bambang Iswawan. So he received the award of the in the social enterprise from Ernst Young, I think so. Vision, mission, and values. The visions of the Bina Swadaya Foundation is a leading institution in social enterprise with its well-known reputations in empowering communities. And it is break into the missions, principally that to enhance the self-reliance of the poor and marginalized communities, and to influence the community center, particularly those who are poor and marginalized. We are working as well the multi-stakeholders, related the multi-stakeholders in providing our products and services. So, seeing the Bina Swadaya, this is very unique organizations. To become self-reliant, the Bina Swadaya Foundations has established the business units. Yeah, so this is the business units consist of agribusiness and retail, where you can buy the seed, agriculture product, and so on. The Bina Swadaya established as well the microfinance, particularly for the poor women. And we established as well knowledge management and publications, where the Trubus magazine are elaborated and managed. And then we have as well training capacity building and research. This is such kind of consultancy. And then the last is the convention and services. So this is we can saying that the profit making of the foundations, but along with the profit making activities, we are doing the social mission inherent with these activities. So as the Bina Swadaya Foundations, we call it actually back to these slides. Together with our business units, we call it ourselves not the Bina Swadaya, but Trubus Bina Swadaya groups. Because you know that Trubus that has been 50 years old, the brand is well known in Indonesia. So sometimes people know Trubus better rather than the Bina Swadaya. So then as a group, then we name it ourselves to the market as a Trubus Bina Swadaya group. So here we are working with the multi-stakeholders, government, private sector, universities, communities, and international development agencies as well, with the governance. So you see that we are here, the foundations here has established the business units and as well the microfinance. We are not the governance, we are not like one man, one vote as in the cooperative. And we are not the like the memberships organizations like the HomeNet. We are foundations and build the business units and the microfinance. But we are following the participations in the decisions making. So the participations in the decision making is occurred in the stakeholders management meeting, as well as in the foundations organ meeting, like with the advisory meeting and CEOs meeting in the foundations itself. So this is the governance. But in the end, the profit of this business unit will be contribute as well to yayasans to conduct to funding the social missions prepared by the foundations. So in these slides, I want to share what is actually the contributions of the Bina Swadaya to the SDGs. At least regarding to the SDGs number 1, SDGs, the Bina Swadaya activities contribute to the SDGs number 1, alleviating the poverty, and then number 5 on gender equality, on the 8th decent work, and many other else. But particularly here in the decent work SDG goals, we can see that the Bina Swadaya has contributed, at least provided 621 jobs opportunities. But with the COVID situations here, it's reduced because really a tough time we have to face during this COVID area with this lockdown. Many activities, business activities cannot do optimally. So under this staff, we can see that the 73% of the staff are male and 27% are female, but however, in the decision making, there are 50-50% male and female in the positions of management. So in the next slides, it is about the missions. If people asking the Trubus Bina Swadaya, and in their mind is related to be the art agriculture, and we believe that the root of the economic welfare in Indonesia is actually the village. So then here the village are the root of the big Indonesia. Therefore, one of the main program of the Bina Swadaya, we call it village revitalizations. We believe if the village is revitalized, become self-reliant, then we can have a betterment of the economic of Indonesia, and with the more better equality, gender equality, and so on. Now, it's time to know more closely about one of the business unit that we name it the Trubus Magazine. I will let the microphone to Rosi, my dear friend, to present about the Trubus Magazine. Rosi, it's your time, please.
Eri, can I just intervene? You have already taken 15 minutes.
Oh. Yeah.
So,
I'm sorry.
Rosie, how much time will it take?
I'm sorry.
I will just give the presentation, fast presentation.
Yes,
okay, just
okay.
what
I think,
we are doing in the Trubus magazines.
No,
Okay,
I think we can give you the time because we wanted to hear about Bina Swadaya, and we also want to hear about the Trubus. So there are actually 2 presentations. So instead of 5, we have 6 presentations.
Correct.
And because Pak Bambang is around, we can give a few minutes to him as well to say a few words. I think it is very important when we have such a famous founder with us, we can ask him to also speak for a few minutes after Rosie. Over to you, Rosie.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Denison. I will give my presentation fastly. If you say about Trubus, what it means a bud or shoots or grow. If the trunk of the tree trim, then a few days later, new shoots appear. That is Trubus. Okay, next slide. Okay, I will explain the vision and mission about the Trubus magazine. The vision is Trubus as the largest and the most comprehensive agriculture information service provider in Indonesia. And then it's breakout in the mission, providing sufficient information for the sake of agricultural production increment in a wider sense, including plantation, horticultural, fishery, and animal husbandry subsectors, and also giving inspiration for agribusiness players to increase revenue. Okay, next, Ibu Eri. Okay, we call it up with magazine plus because in Trubus we have many challenges. We want to change the community behavior through driven channel. Because besides magazine, we also have books, contests, training, consultation, exhibition, and tour. There are our activities in Trubus. Okay, next, Ibu Eri. Okay. For the information in the Trubus, we call the process of content development in Trubus magazine can be set bottom-up process. We get preliminary information from the reader, letter, or farmer, and then after that we trace the information from the other sources, so we get more comprehensive information. And then that information that we publish in Trubus magazine. So the source not only from one resource, but many resources. Okay, the next. Okay, this is the role of Trubus in providing job creations. As a magazine, Trubus not directly creating a job, but we inspiring the people to create their job. I gave the example about the hydroponic and aquaponic system. Trubus concentrated information about hydroponics and aquaponics in 2009. And until now, the technology is widely used by urban communities. With limited land and water, we can get fresh and healthy vegetables because of the cultivation is minimum of pesticides, even zero pesticides. Hydroponic cultivation is also one of the solutions for family food security programs. In Trubus, for the example and client that who doing the hydroponic system cultivation is Ibu Eri. Ibu Eri not just doing the hydroponic cultivation now, but she's also selling the vegetables to the friends and to the neighborhood. So besides they can produce from themselves, they also can sell the vegetables. So it will increase the income, the family income. Next. The other issues that give in the Trubus magazine is virgin coconut oil. Virgin coconut oil, we made the content about VCO in 2005. And since then, many VCO producers, most of them are small entrepreneurs, have appeared in various regions in Indonesia. And now VCO can be purchased in various stores, including pharmacies. And then the good news is that during the COVID-19 pandemic, the VCO was also used by the Indonesian government to treat COVID-19 patients. VCO is one of the supplements provided to increase the patient's immune system so that the patient can recover quickly. Okay, next, Ibu Eri. And then in Trubus, we're also doing the campaign on local fruit conservation. We held the contest since 1989 and until 2019, we held 11 times. The background is fruit import not only disrupts food security because of dependence on other countries, but also adverse impact. The existence of imported fruit for farmers will kill and paralyze their business. And the other background is many superior fruit found in the rural area that are sold at low prices. And the third background is Indonesia has a variety of germ plants that only exist in rural areas. Many superior local fruits are extinct because they are not maintained, because they have low economic value. So we held this contest, local fruit contests such as avocado, durian, jackfruit, orange, banana, mangoes, and rose apple is to achieve the encourage to improve the quality of national fruits. Maybe the next slide, Ibu Eri. And we also want to conserve the germ plants of tropical fruits, improve the economic level of the owner of the surrounding community, and recommends the Seed Certification Center to release the winning high quality fruit seeds. With the certificate, the the fruit price will be increased. Okay, the next. Okay, for the review, the economic sustainability. I can say that for the activities, Trubus not only published a magazine, but we also doing the event, training, consultation, also published a book. That's our source of the revenue. As we know that now we have challenge with the change of consumer behavior. So the number of printed magazines sold has decreased because young people want to read not the printed magazine, but they change to the digital. And then the second is mostly Trubus readers are in the urban area. Therefore, in the future, we want to have direct reader in rural area. We also want to make a good cooperate with the agriculture extension workers. Next, Mr. Eri.
Yeah.
This is the Trubus Bina Swadaya activity to respond to the pandemic. Besides, we have the webinar and then the online training. There are the participants a hydroponic online training that we held on last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. The participants, mostly from women, we trained them how to cultivate hydroponic system in the wick system. And then Ibu Eri maybe can explain about these pictures, about what we are doing in the response to pandemic activity.
Okay, if this is the magazine itself, the magazine with their issues try to make a training in the foundations level. The Bina Swadaya do a lot of the social action as well to respond to pandemic. Such kinds deliver the health equipment for the paramedic, as well distributing the container for hand washing and a lot of the another social activities. So I think this is all, Rosi?
Yes,
okay. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Denison. I'm sorry for exceeding the time limit.
It's okay.
Thank you.
It's all right, Dr. Eri. I think we, in our communication, we were saying we want the magazine. We also want to hear about Bina Swadaya. Can I invite Pak Bambang to say a few words? Because it's a great honor having you with us directly, and you can take a few minutes to share your own personal journey because it's from 1954, right? So that's a long time. 1954 was when I was born. Okay. Pak Bambang, Chandra, can you unmute for Pak Bambang?
Pak Bambang, your speaker is on.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Denison, Ben, and my friends all. First, it is not, I'm start in 1954, I was still in secondary school. But I joined the movement since 1963. So about 57 years, I'm joining these organizations, and I'm enjoying the participation of young people from time to time. I would like to add 2 points only, because the time is limited, and Ibu Eri and Rosi has been preparing and presenting very good. One related to our target audience. Bina Swadaya define the target audience of Bina Swadaya is the people economy. The people economy is the economic sector in Indonesia that give a life for the biggest part of the people in Indonesia. And the people economy, many our founders, our republic's founder, always talk about that, but never can say very concretely about that. But whenever a regulation has been published, and it's related to the micro, small, and medium companies, then we found out that more than 90% of the entities in Indonesia are micro enterprise. So this is our main target audience. And this people economy or micro enterprise can be found in the rural and in urban area. This is the people that Bina Swadaya is very keen to serve them and to help them develop stronger. And through many different activities and invite cooperation with other stakeholders, Bina Swadaya survive so far. So we feel that people economy, meaning that it is micro enterprise, are in our focus of attention. This is one point that I would like to add. Secondly, we define what we call social entrepreneur. Bina Swadaya has practices since the beginning, but then we really realized it since 1999. And what we are doing that every activities we are promoting in Bina Swadaya to serve people, we always consider that it should be possible for them to self-reliance financially. But the goal of Bina Swadaya is actually to implement social development. And social development meant that it's related to poverty alleviation, productive employment, and social integration. This is the formulation that particularly formulated in the UN meeting in Copenhagen 1996, Social Development Summit. And Bina Swadaya add one more point, not only social development, but social development and sustainable development, in which environment should be our main focus for any development we promoted. So I think I like to add to this point to support what Eri and Rosi has been presenting. Thank you very much.